Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a clock tower and a small courtyard that surrounds it. The courtyard features several benches, a telephone box, and an ice cream stand. I'd also highly recommend decorating this build with taxis, or maybe even a bus. And I'm sure that there are plenty of other things that you could add that would look really cool. Also, feel free to try changing the style of the clock tower. Sandstone isn't your only option. Brick, stone, and maybe even something a little bit more modern might look a little bit better to you. Consider becoming a channel member today and you will gain access to a cool avatar next to your name, some unique emojis, and access to my mini city design world containing every single build that has been added to Mini City to date. This is well over 100 builds, all chronologically ordered, Java edition only. Here is the amount of space required to make the clock tower. And here are all of the materials that we will use throughout the build. Begin by placing 13 smooth sandstone on top of each other. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Then place 7 stripped birch wood on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then place an additional 2 smooth sandstone on top of that. 1, 2. We now want to extend the smooth sandstone to the right by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, backwards by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, across by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just simply join back to where we first started. We then want to do pretty much the exact same thing at the base as well. We want to extend the sandstone, across by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, back by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, across by 4 again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then extend forwards like this. We can extend every single one of the corners up the same way that we did this first corner. So we place a row of sandstone first. We then want to apply the same amount of stripped birch on top of that, followed by an additional sandstone to connect up to the top. We want to do this on the 2 remaining corners. We then want to connect the tops of the rows of sandstone together, like this, just underneath the birch. We then want to add vertical rows of smooth sandstone, splitting each side of the build into 2. We then want to add stripped birch wood inside of the base of the clock tower, so that from the outside we have the appearance of the birch. Then we want to grab our smooth sandstone, and starting from the bottom we leave a gap of 2, 1, 2, and then we place a horizontal row of smooth sandstone throughout the entire build, and we do this leading all the way up. So we leave a gap of 2 and then we simply add the horizontal row of smooth sandstone all the way through the build like this. Gap of 2 and then smooth sandstone. Eventually we will reach a natural stopping point and we will have equally divided each side. Next, we are going to fill and connect the birch wood rows in. So just above this, we are just going to connect our rows of birch wood together. We want to make sure that the birch wood all faces the same way, which is vertical. If you like, you can also just fill the sandstone row just above it in as well. Next, we are going to add a row of smooth sandstone slab around the base of the stripped birch wood. So just like this. We then want to do the same at the top. Like so. We are then going to connect the corners up and down. This will require us placing slabs first, so I think that I'll do that and then place the smooth sandstone afterwards. Okay, so this is the area that each one of the 4 clock faces will exist in. So basically, we want to place a row of white concrete that sits along the inside of this empty space, leaving a gap in each one of the 4 corners, like this. It forms a circle. We can then fill the center of it in with white concrete, place polished black stone buttons around the edge, so we have a minute track, or hour track. Then we simply stick a dark oak fence in the middle, and then we figure out what time it is. You've got multiple options, but I think that it looks good with this. So essentially, this means that it is 3 o'clock. So fence above, gate to the right. I think it looks quite cool this way. Do feel free to change the time into, whatever you want. If you are going to do like a bottom like this, then you would have to use more fence. So like you could have it be 12 o'clock, maybe find some sort of way to have make it look kind of cool. Maybe you could even use something like this. But again, my recommendation would be have 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock or something like that. And I think that it just looks good. Anyway, we're going to do the exact same thing on each one of the 3 remaining sides, and it's going to be the same time on every side. Do I need to point that out? I don't know. I kind of thought to myself hey, maybe we could make it a different time on each side, so it'd be, that doesn't make sense, so... Although other time zones do exist, I suppose. It'd be a little weird for, a random villager's central time-telling device to have a bunch of different time zones, but you know what, you can do what you want. Next, we are going to undo a slight oops that I did. We could have really have done without filling this area above the clock face in. So we want to remove these rows of sandstone. It basically equates to every other row of sandstone removed, like this. We then want to place stripped birch wood behind and inside of all of these empty rows. It's basically the same effect that we've been using throughout the entire build. So, just like this. We then simply connect the tops of this together using a smooth sandstone slab, just like so. And then, above this, or on top of this, both really, we want to place a row of stone stairs that orbits the top of what we have just made. Like this. Then we want to place another row of stone stairs that sits above and inside of this. Then we are going to place some sandstone in the middle, raise it up an entire row. Then we will place a row of stone stairs around the edge of this, connecting together with a stone slab poking up out of the top. This is our clock tower complete. Next, we are going to make the area surrounding the clock tower. So, first of all, we are going to dig from the center of the clock tower outwards to the boundary. Remove a row left and right of this, and then we will fill this in using stone bricks. We want to do this on each one of the 3 remaining sides. We then want to connect each one of these 4 paths together with a row of oak leaves. So on the remaining part of the grid, we simply stack our oak leaves and it forms a nice symmetrical shape like this. We then plant rose bushes along the inside of our leaves. We then remove the remaining grass that is unnecessary inside of our area and replace it with stone bricks. In each one of the 4 corners, we will place 2 polished blackstone walls stacked on top of each other, with a beacon on top of that, and then a black carpet on top of that. This is a lamppost, and we have to do this 3 more times. It doesn't really matter which 2 you choose. My recommendation would be to choose 2 opposing corners. I'll show you what I mean. So this front right corner, for instance, I am going to place 2 spruce stairs, leaving a gap of 1 from the black stone wall on this side and this side, with flipped up spruce trapdoors either side of the stairs. And I'm also going to do the same all the way over here in this opposite corner as well. Which leaves us 2 empty corners, and once again, these 2 upcoming designs, you can place them any way you like. In this front left corner, I am going to place a phone box. I unfortunately have to remove one of these bushes here. So, the phone box requires us to place 4 acacia doors placed backwards in a square like this. Then, we have to place a smooth quartz slab suspended above the empty space with acacia signs around the top of the slab. And I would probably choose to, in one of these, write telephone. And then inside here, I'm just going to place a tripwire hook suspended off of the upper half of the door, and there we go, simple telephone box. This does give us enough room, by the way, to also have another bench, just like this. So this is the front left corner, and all the way over here in our last remaining corner, we are going to have an ice cream stand. So you can have it placed either way, like you can have it across here, or you can have it placed this way. It doesn't really matter. This one I prefer a little bit more because it takes up a little bit less walking space. So 3 light blue concrete here extending outwards diagonally across the length of this hedge, and then we have to place 3 birch trap doors, preferably all facing the same way, flipped up behind the light blue concrete like this, and then item frames on the light blue concretes with different flavors of ice cream represented by colourful shulker boxes. So I've got a Neapolitan here, vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate. And lastly, I'm just going to make some banners just to decorate the stand. So loom down on the ground, light blue banner in there with white dye, and I'm simply going to apply the pally pattern. So we can then throw that all the way around the stand, just like this. And again, very simple ice cream stand. So if you wanted to make this ever so slightly more apparent that it is an ice cream stand, you could remove this banner here, place a smooth quartz slab, extend it forwards, and then place like a flower pot here, item frame here, iron shovel there. And we do always have the option of placing a villager that is kind of like locked into this area that would be the ice cream seller. So for our villager, that would mean that first of all we need a name tag, so anvil down, name tag in there, and we'll go for Mr. Frosty, because why not? Solid name for an ice cream seller. And then the villager can kind of like be anywhere. It'll probably be easier to block the villager in like here. So if we place some barrier blocks, throw down our villager, apply the name tag, stick a barrier over the head, and there we go. Mr. Frosty will love to serve us some wonderful soft scoop. And with that final detail added, ladies and gentlemen, we have officially completed this tutorial. However, this video is not over. We must now add our clock tower and surroundings into our city. I can't help but feel as though that this build in particular would just look so wonderful in the new suburbs that I've been working on. I've really enjoyed building this area up, and I think that this build would heavily complement it. Perfect. Nice and easy. It's usually a struggle to find where to place these things. And that is that, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope that you have enjoyed this video. Please do remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Click that little bell next to the subscription button to ensure that you get all my videos sent directly to your sub box. If you would like to make anything else by me, please check the description below for the mini city builds playlist. We have over 100 builds in there for you to enjoy. Alternatively, the sidebar, hopefully the next upcoming video, YouTube, or just check the channel. Consider becoming a channel member today and you will gain access to a cool avatar next to your name, some unique emojis, and access to my mini city design world containing every single build that has been added to Mini City to date. This is well over 100 builds, all chronologically ordered. Java edition only. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.